The male accented voice from the kitchen was loud. "We have observed," he said, "that an unusual number of people have gathered at this house tonight. What is the explanation?" "There has been a death," Mamma's voice replied calmly. "It is always our custom to gather and pay our respects when a family member dies. I am sure you are familiar with our customs." One of the officers pushed Mamma ahead of him from the kitchen and entered the living room. There were others behind him. They filled the wide doorway. As always, their boots gleamed, their guns, their helmets. All of them gleamed in the candlelight. Anne-Marie watched as the man's eyes moved around the room. He looked for a long time at the casket. Then he moved his gaze, focusing on each person in turn. When his eyes reached her, she looked back at him steadily. "Who died?" he asked harshly. No one answered. They watched Anne-Marie, and she realized that the officer was directing the question at her. Now she knew for certain what Uncle Hendrik had meant when he had talked to her in the barn. To be brave came more easily if you knew nothing. She swallowed. "My great-aunt Bertha," she lied in a firm voice. The officer moved forward suddenly, across the room to the casket. He placed one gloved hand on its lid. "Poor great-aunt Bertha," he said in a condescending voice. "I do know your customs," he said, turning his gaze toward Mamma, who still stood in the doorway. "And I know it is the custom to pay one's respects by looking your loved one in the face. It seems odd to me that you have closed this coffin up so tightly." His hand was in a fist, and he rubbed it across the edge of the polished lid. "Why is it not open?" he demanded. "Let us open it up and take one last look at great-aunt Bertha." Anne-Marie saw Peter across the room stiffen in his chair, lift his chin, and reach slowly with one hand toward his side. Mamma walked quickly across the room, directly to the casket, directly to the officer. "You're right," she said. "The doctor said it should be closed because Aunt Bertha died of typhus, and he said there was a chance the germs would still be there, would still be dangerous. But what does he know? Only a country doctor and an old man at that. Surely typhus germs wouldn't linger in a dead person. And dear Aunt Bertha, I have been longing to see her face, to kiss her goodbye. Of course we will open the casket. I'm glad you suggested." With a swift motion, the Nazi officer slapped Mamma across the face. She staggered backward, and a white mark on her cheek darkened. "You foolish woman," he spat, "to think that we have any interest in seeing the body of your diseased aunt. Open it after we leave," he said.